For example, and here's why I asked that question. And the reason those two people enter into the same question is most of the Islamophobia, that term was coined after like a whole wave of Christians started shitting on Islam.
Yeah.
And the reason they were shitting on Islam, especially in North America, was to, like, you know, one, because it was a different religion, and that's a no-no. You can't have a different religion. We're right, you're not. So that's a fucking no-no. That's at its base. That's why Christians began shitting on Muslims. Then you have post 9/11 fucking Christian people going like Islam sucks and here's why, and that's where Islamophobia began. It didn't begin with atheists shitting on the ideology of Islam. That's not where it started. People were talking about fucking guys like, you know, Dennis Prager, who just constantly rail on about Muslims because, well, he's a Jewish dude, and we all know how well they get along, and that's that, right? So it's always fucking been religious bickering.
Yeah.
Until we got dragged, we being atheists or anti-theists or however you identify, being drug into that by saying, well, you've been criticizing them for years, and somehow you're Islamophobic. Everybody is this guy now. It's fucking some random incident where this guy happened to be a self-proclaimed anti-theist or whatever because he made some posts on Facebook, which that's where all the most intelligent people go to fucking debate, of course. And now we've culminated this perfect environment for this sort of thing to happen. Fuck you, dude. And like, if you ever see this, I really hope somebody knows him, Rith Randall, and fucking sends it to you. Fuck you. Everything about your statement is just completely fucking insane. You're nuts. Now, the second thing that he retweeted that I read. Okay, now this was something, he did not write this. He retweeted somebody else who wrote this. But he felt that more people needed to see it. And it's, quote.
But not you, of course.
Definitely feel not me. I mean, I guess
what a spineless piece of shit to preemptively block you so that you can't respond.
Well, see, I don't even know if it was because of what my guess is, to be honest, like, it wasn't that he didn't want me. It could have been that, but I don't think so. I think it was that he just doesn't like me anymore. And that's fine because I say a lot of shit that a guy like that's not going to like. Like making fun of
old is he? How old is he that he can't stand having acquaintances with different points of view?
Right. Well, see, and that's the other part that confuses me because we've never agreed on everything. And then, you know, but all that is, who gives a fuck? Because, like, after reading this shit, again, I'm relieved that he has identified me as a person that he doesn't want to talk to. Because, I mean, I disagree so strongly with this. And this is ideology to me. This is, once you get into political brain, once you have a political mind, you stop thinking. It's the same as being dogmatic. Like if you, the first, I've told you this before, I've said it on this, on our show here. And like the second you start identifying yourself with this fucking broad label, right? Like I am this, I am that. And you stop thinking. So this guy has all these fucking labels. He likes to like announce that he's a feminist and he's this and that. And that's what he's doing now, I guess. Fine. If you want to stop thinking, be my fucking guest. I'm not going to join you, right? Yeah. Not going to. But anyway, this is what he thought needed to be retweeted. Okay, somebody else. I didn't bother with their name because they're obviously insane. Here's the tweet. Quote: "I'm an atheist, and I condemn the Chapel Hill shooting. Looking for white male atheists to follow suit." Unquote.
Why does being a white male have? I've said this on a previous episode of this series, and it's one of those things where I wish I was wrong, but I know I'm so right. If you want to envision the future of our society, imagine a wasteland with no logic, only identity politics.
Jesus.
That's the only thing anyone will care about. You know, it's like, hey, did you hear about that guy who shot a bunch of people? Oh, what race was he? Yeah, that's the future. Like you're looking in a crystal fucking ball. That is the future.
Yeah. And what fucks me up is the first part automatically just makes me want to like just karate chop this person. I'm an atheist. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And I condemn. I mean, just that I'm an atheist and.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what the fuck does that lend to what you're about to say? Zero, bitch. It doesn't lend anything to what the fuck you're about to say. right? I have hair on my head, and I don't like to go to church. I mean, it's fucking meaningless, all right? I'm an atheist, and I condemn the Chapel Hill shooting. Wait! Holy shit, let me sit down. Let me sit down for a fucking second while I regain my fucking composure. You condemn people being shot in the face out in the street? You fucking hero.
Yeah.
You absolute fucking hero on Twitter announcing that you condemn murder. Whoa. That fucking concept is so goddamn... How brave. What a brave stance to take, you fucking idiot. Fucking ideological piece of dog shit. Fucking think. Have a real goddamn idea. Fucking have something interesting to say, you moron. And I guarantee it's these same dipshits that complain about people like Bionic Dance making the same fucking video over and over again because your fucking thoughts are so sophisticated and original. Like,
Yeah.
I condemn people being shot. Give me praise on Twitter. Fuck your mother. It's the second part of his tweet, looking for white male atheists to follow suit. Are you now? Are you looking for white male atheists?
Yeah.
Wait a second. I said this on Twitter earlier, but here it is. These assholes and people that think this way, you fucking say, or anybody says. Now, first of all, I want to start here. I'm almost done. I fucking swear to God, everybody.
Yeah.
Almost done. First of all, the people that go, why don't moderate Muslims speak up? I don't necessarily agree with that question. I don't think it's a very fucking fair question. Now, a lot of people are going to disagree with me, and I get that. But the reason I don't think it's a fair question is because I wouldn't press a Catholic to explain child molestation to me.
Yeah.
Like, why are priests fucking kids? You better speak out against it or else you're for it. That's bullshit. No, most Catholics are not for it. A lot of Muslims, most Muslims are not for chopping people's fucking heads off. Otherwise, we'd all be in a lot of shit. Fine.
Yeah.
But these are the people who get insane when somebody like Bill Maher or whatever says not enough Muslims are speaking out against it. It's not their fucking responsibility, dude. Get off your high horse. But on the same side of the token, he's more than fucking willing, he or she, guarantee it's a he. Guarantee it's a white guy. Has to be a white guy to talk like this. Looking for white men. Yeah, definitely white dude. He says... You know, he has no problem in saying looking for white male atheists. It doesn't see the bigotry in that.
Yeah.
Doesn't see the implication in that statement is white male atheists don't give a shit about murder victims.
Obviously, Latino male atheists, they care.
They're doing
there's no test.
Atheists.
I mean, it's so ridiculous. I mean, he forgot cisgender. That's the problem. Looking for white male cisgender atheists.
Yeah. What a fucking pandering pussy you are. Whoever you are, I wish I would have memorized your name. But whoever you are the worst kind of non-thinking, ideological, fucking predictable as all dog shit, fucking just unbelievable moron. I mean, I really hope that you're like fucking 15 and you just have your head so far up your goddamn ass that it's impossible to figure anything out.
Actually, you know what? Even just like moments before we set up to recording, I was watching a vid, and it was talking about like some Pakistan. It was this like a sex slave ring operating in England by some Pakistani, expatriates or what have you. And someone commented. They said, "Oh man, I'm ashamed to be something like this makes me ashamed to be Pakistani because these men did all these horrible things, blah blah blah." And I just immediately commented, "It's like, well, there's no reason why you should be ashamed. You know, no matter who you are. This isn't a team sport. You know,
right?
And then again, it's like this poor guy. Even he is sort of drinking this Kool-Aid that conflates things about you that you couldn't change." Like your birth nationality and your race at birth, and things that you do or groups that you associate, and so forth and so on. Mm-hmm. So I said, look, there's no reason you should be ashamed. You didn't do anything. I mean, I'm assuming. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that he had nothing to do with it.
I'm just so confused by the request that white male atheists condemn murder. Like, how fucking deluded do you have to be to believe you live in a world where that doesn't happen constantly? Like, who the fuck... Well, I guess it's the same kind of person that would have to announce it on Twitter that they condemn murder would think that maybe other people don't. Like, what are you fucking insanely, and fucking Rith Randall has to. He thinks more people need to hear that statement.
Yeah.
What a fucking retard! Like, what is? I don't. And it's not even a matter of intellect. It's just a fucking matter of political brain. You just have fucking political brain, and you've stopped using your fucking brain. Period.
Yeah.
Just ideology out the asshole, and it's so predictable and fucking boring. No, thank you. And it's really and the most disgraceful thing of all, of course, is you had said something, you had alluded to how happy people are with these kind of tragedies.
Yeah.
People that are political minded get fucking full erections every time these fucking people are shot, and they can't fucking wait to use it for some sort of political fucking bravery award.
Yeah.
Right, where they go out and they get on Twitter and they announce to the world how much good they're going to do and how they stand with the victims, and oh, what a fucking hero you are. Pat yourself on the back. Somebody should give you a fucking Purple Heart. Congratulations on your bravery, you cunts. Yeah. And they did the same shit with Sandy Hook, and they'll do it again and again and again. Every time somebody fucking dies, you know, their parents haven't even identified the goddamn victims yet, and you're out fucking looking for pats on your political back. Fuck you. Seriously. All right. Anyway, that's that. I'm done. I'm officially done with that.
Yeah, I have more, but we need to get back to the game. But yeah, I was, you know, it couldn't have come at a worse time for me, because I was just at that point where I was saying, okay, once and for all, I need to stop stressing about overseas massacres that I can't do anything about.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, and it's like beheadings, barrel bombs, beheadings. There was one thing in Syria where literally there was a river of human blood. Not figuratively. So many people had died in a recent, clash in the city. And these they were setting off barrel bombs, and it was also a city occupied by either ISIS or some other group, and they were killing people for various offenses. So there were so many people dead that a light rain, you know, it was like one of those rains that just comes and goes in the matter of less than an hour, and it actually turned into this red river, flowing down the street, an actual river of blood. And I can't be clear enough that as a white male cisgender atheist, I condemn that piece of shit who murdered those people in cold blood in Chapel Hill.
Right.
I do have to say,
I can't believe you have to announce that.
If you are one of those people who think that this is all a team sport, it's all a team sport, and it's all your race and religion and nationality and all this and gender. If it's a team sport, I would rather look at the fucking scoreboard next time. Okay? We have 200,000 people dead in Syria from a combination of the Assad regime and ISIS and all this other bullshit. And these people just sit there and they eat their kale and they check their social media and they're like, "Oh well, that's not what I believe. That's not the Islam I believe in." And they just very nonchalantly let it all wash off their back. And then 3 people are killed by some person who the neighbor said he was just an all-purpose psycho, right? He was just a psycho, and they just like lean forward and spill their tea, and they're like, "Holy shit, this is it's terrible. It's terrible. Oh yeah, I'll have to very respectfully and make complete hay out of this, because I'll
have to announce that I'm against murder.
Yeah,
I'll be a fucking hero."
You can feel the enthusiasm, and this one sack of shit Muslim apologist, it was put up on Twitter, and I only found out because like someone who antagonizes them that I know, retweeted it with their response and so forth. And they had, they just did not fail to disappoint and said exactly what I expected them to say in this situation, was as like, "Aha! Told you so. Now are you going to stop criticizing Islam?" That kind of bullshit. And I just tweeted back to them. I said, "You have to be the most deluded person on the planet." That was it. I didn't even elaborate, because they'll never figure it out. No matter. It was therapeutic for me. I said, "You're the most delusional person on the planet."
Aside from Nancy Grace.
Yeah. It's like, right. We criticize that bullshit because we want this to stop.
Right, exactly, and that's the other thing. Like
Why
you
do
just
they have
said.
such a hard time? We criticize it because we want
Well,
the
that's what I
rivers
can't
of
figure
blood.
out.
We want the rivers of blood to stop flowing, not have a second river of blood, not have a Euphrates of blood to match the Tigris of blood.
Right. That's
Jesus
why I can't
fuck.
figure out why the people that are like, this sucks, it's creating a problem, please stop, are being like demonized as just as bad as the people they're complaining
Yeah,
about.
that's their favorite
That's
thing. That's their
I
favorite
don't
thing.
get it.
Well, you're just as bad. And I'm like,
Sure.
okay, look.
Except not
Yeah,
at
it's
all.
not by several orders of fucking magnitude.
Right. And again, like the whole fucking thing with Islamophobia and people being freaked out about Muslims was a lot of post 9/11 Christians. It wasn't a lot of post 9/11 atheists who freaked out. A lot of atheists had the same reaction, like, "Well, look, they're at it again." Right?
Yeah.
A lot of people who had a shitty fucking like, oh, religious people killing each other. That's different, right? But it was fucking Christians that were freaked out, and like, if anybody can really, especially in North America, I live in the South. I live in the place where Southern Christians freak out about Muslims the most, right?
Uh-huh.
Like it happens here, but it's really like, well, I don't know about Muslims and blah, 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 and it's all because they don't believe in the same God. That's the issue with a lot of people that are freaked out by Muslims. Fucking atheists or anti-theists or whatever aren't. I mean, what are the instances of violence that take place in the name of anti-theism? Like, how many people are fucking exploding, shouting for atheism and fucking like? I mean, how much is that happening? I mean, apparently enough to culminate a fucking terrible environment where Muslims are being slaughtered on a daily basis by anti-theists, not other Muslims or anything else, just by anti-theists.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then what's funny is you have these people, you have the extremists saying, okay, before I cut your head off, I'm going to set up a video camera so that I have recorded evidence of me saying that I'm doing this in the name of my religion and no other reason. And people say, no, I don't think it's that. I think it's there's always some political reason for all
he would have done that anyway.
So like literally no matter what Muslims do to non-Muslims or to each other, it's never Islam. People just shake their head. They'll throw a fit before they concede that there was any kind of contributing factor. And then
I wonder
three Muslims are murdered, and all people need to know is that they were Muslims, and they say, well, that was why. That was all we need to know is they were Muslims, and we know that they were killed because they were Muslims.
Sure.
That is such a staggering double standard.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's unbelievable. It really is it's one of many double standards in this whole situation. It's one of three that I thought of in my sleep. Yeah. And it's fucking, all I can think is that it's an ideology thing and that people are just fucking, they're just as dogmatic as any fucking other person on the planet that is. And it's, I hate politics for this reason. I've become such a non-fan of politics. I've said before that somewhere, I can't remember where, but like government scares me a fuck of a lot less than politics. Yeah. I mean, government at least has a goddamn function that I can measure, right? Like fucking politics is usually deceptive and throws a wrench in the machine of rational conversation every fucking time. Same as goddamn religion does.
So let's just move on. Let's think about something not so aggravating, like
mountain rape.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez.
Which is less aggravating. Okay.
I know. Let's just focus on demons in some hellish other world. Yeah. This is our fantasy escapism here, which says a lot about the real.
Yeah, it does. If this is a relief.
Yeah.
Like sweet relief. This is like a meditation retreat for us.
Although I do remember like reading. There's this guy. He runs an account on some social media called Raqqa is being silently slaughtered, and Raqqa is like the unofficial capital of ISIS. Okay. And like I follow a lot of news about ISIS, and
that's a huge bummer.
Yeah. So anyway, but they're all this information is leaking out, and just the whole place is falling apart. Basically, anything that could be considered civilization has crumbled there. I mean, it's like Fallout.
Right.
And it's not for lack of people. It's not because a nuclear bomb went off. It's just that ISIS, they're so bad at governing that the place. And I remember thinking, this is what it would be like. Like you always see, this is what it'd be like if a human city was occupied by orcs.